Okay, so let's look at our do now. Before we look at the side where we're measuring, I want to just look at the back side real quick. So flip it over to the back side, just to quickly review what we talked about yesterday. So on a 45, 45, 90, it's an isosceles right triangle like we talked about. These two sides are going to be the same length. So what was going to be the length of the hypotenuse if both of these were 3? Okay, 3 square root of 2. Or, remember we talked about it could be 3 times the square root of 2. That's another way you could write that. Okay? So in general, just for a 45, 45, 90, remember, if these two sides, if the two legs are x, then the hypotenuse is going to be x times the square root of 2. And we saw this as we actually worked this out with the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, I want to show you this in a different way for today. So on this big triangle right here, in centimeters, how long is this leg down here? It's right at 11.7, maybe just a tiny bit less than 11.7, but it's pretty close. So we're going to say 11.7 centimeters, and if you measure it, this one is exactly the same. Okay, the way I drew it in the computer, made sure they're exactly the same. They should be real close. Should be very close. Okay, now, so back over here, all right, if this was 3, this was 3, this was 3 square roots of 2. If this one's 11.7, this one's 11.7, how long does this have to be? 11.7 square roots of 2. Now, I want you to type that into your calculator real quick. Type in 11.7 times square root of 2. And that one's dead. I'll get you one in a second. Okay, so if you type in 11.7 square root of 2, it gives you 16.5, right? Somewhere around there. Now, we're rounding a little bit, so it's not exact, but I want you to see how close this is. How long is this hypotenuse? How long is it? 16.5, exactly what that said right here. Okay, let's measure this one. So on this one, how long is the leg?
16.7. I mean 6.7.
Okay, so actually it looks like, to me, it's kind of halfway between 6.6 and 6.7. It's like right in between. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it's 6.65, somewhere around there. It's really not 6.6 and it's really not 6.7. So I'm going to say 6.65. This one is 6.65. And so same thing, if both of these are 6.65, how long is the hypotenuse going to be? 6.65 square roots of 2. Okay, type that in your calculator real quick. 6.65 square roots of 2.
9.404.
And it gives you 9.404. So 9.40, 9.4. Let's see how close that gets us right there. How long is this hypotenuse?
9.4.
Boom, 9.4. Okay? So again, I'm just showing you on a 45, 45, 90 that little relationship is always true. Okay, on here, how long is the leg?
3.6.
It's right at 3.6. 3.6, 3.6, and I forgot to mention these are right angles. For sure are. So this is going to be 3.6 square roots of 2. 3.6 square roots of 2 is what?
5.0.
5.09, and if you round that, it's going to be 5.1. Right? 5.1. Let's see how close this is to that. And boom, 5.1. Very close. Okay. We're going to work some more on these 45, 45, 90 triangles. Okay, and again, I'm writing with my finger here, so this is going to look like trash, but do the best I can. Okay, so on this triangle right here, this right here, AB, is 5. Now, is this side AB, is it one of the two legs or is it the hypotenuse?
One of the two legs.
It's one of the legs, okay? So I'm going to write in 5 here for one of the legs. Okay, so if AB is 5, how long is BC? 5. On the 45, 45, 90, those legs are always the same. And if both legs are 5, how long is this hypotenuse going to be? Okay, it's going to be 5 square root of 2. Now, on our warm-up just now, I wanted you to see the decimal, just so you can see how it measures. For today, the rest of the stuff, don't get the decimal. Just write it like that. That's all you have to do. So AC is 5 square root of 2. The hypotenuse is 5 square root of 2. Okay, number 2. All right, this one that says 3 square roots of 2, PR. Is that one of the two legs or the hypotenuse? That one's the hypotenuse. Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and write that right there. That's the 3 square roots of 2. Okay, so just a second ago we saw if we know the leg, okay, and go into here, we multiply by the square root of 2. What do we do when we go the opposite direction? We divide by the square root of 2. So if I do 3, if I do 3 square root of 2 and I divide that by the square root of 2, the square root of 2's cancel. They cancel the 1, and so then that means that this is just 3. Okay, BQ is 3. That's one of the legs, and since it's a 45, 45, 90, both the legs are the same. They're both just 3. Okay, number 3. This one, MP, that's 5 square roots of 2. Is that one of the two legs or the hypotenuse? It's one of the legs. So 5 square roots of 2. So this other one is 5 square roots of 2. That's MN. All right. So what do we do going from the leg to the hypotenuse here? Multiply it by the square root of 2. So we have 5 square roots of 2 times the square root of 2. Okay, good. So we're thinking inside numbers. So inside here, what's 2 times 2? It's 4. So that gives us 5 square roots of 4. Now, what is the square root of 4? It's just 2. So this is really 5 times 2, which is what?
10.
Is 10. Okay, and so that's how long the hypotenuse is. Okay, number 4. The one that the AC there, that's 10, is that the hypotenuse or a leg? It's the hypotenuse, right? It's 10. So what do we do when we go from the hypotenuse back to the leg? You divide by the square root of 2. So this is just 10 divided by the square root of 2. And again, we could rationalize this, rationalize the denominator, get that radical out of there, but we're just going to leave it like that for now. So we have 10 over the square root of 2 for both legs. Which actually, if you notice, both of these two triangles out here are really the same thing. The hypotenuse on both of them are 10, so. Okay, number 5. Okay, the one that's HI there, that's 5. Okay, is that a leg or hypotenuse?
Leg.
It's a leg. So it's one of the legs. The other leg is 5. And I think this is a typo. It should have been HG, but oh well, we'll be good with that. And then if the legs are 5, how long is the hypotenuse?
5 times the square root of 2.
Yep, 5 times the square root of 2. Okay, number 6. This right here, the 6 square root of 2, is that hypotenuse or a leg? That's hypotenuse. And what do we do when we go from the hypotenuse back to the leg? You divide by the square root of 2. So if you have 6 square root of 2 divided by the square root of 2, what happens there? They cancel each other out and just leaves 6 and 6. Okay, on the back. All right, this guy's designing a roller coaster track. He wants the ramp section to rise at 45 degrees. That's talking about this angle right here. And he wants the horizontal to connect at the top of the segment 100 feet high. So right here, this is 100 feet. And this is 45 degrees right here. This is 90 degrees. Okay? So on this 45, 45, 90, if this one's 100, how long is this one right here? It's 100. The legs of a 45, 45, 90 are equal, so both the legs are 100. And how long is that hypotenuse going to be? Yep, it's 100 square roots of 2. Just applying our 45, 45, 90 rule. Okay, next, the square has a perimeter of 32. So, got a square. What does perimeter mean? All the way around. So if the perimeter is 32, and remember in a square, all 4 sides are the same length. So they have to add up to 32, and all 4 are the same. So how long is each side?
8.
Is 8. Yep. Right, because then if you add 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, that adds up to the total of 32. They're all the same since it's a square. Now the question is how long is this diagonal right here?
8 square root of 2.
Good, and if you'll notice, this is just a 45, 45, 90. So this is just 8 square roots of 2 right there. So the legs are 8. The hypotenuse is 8 square roots of 2. Okay, number 9. So you got this square. Each side is 23. And we're looking for the diagonal. How long is that diagonal going to be? 23 square roots of 2, yes. Okay, just applying that rule. Okay, then on this last one. All right, Sam's square bedroom has a diagonal of 9 square roots of 2 feet. So how long are the legs going to be? They're going to be 9.